My Hebrew brothers and sisters, the 12 tribes of Israel, scattered all over the earth, welcome back. This is your Moreh Yeshua Ben Uriah Israel, and we just want to take this moment to say thank you. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. And most of all, I thank you for your prayers. Right now we are in the book of Psalms, and we're going to Psalm 13, and Psalm 13 verses 1 through 6. And this is entitled A Prayer for Help. The second title, like this, A Prayer for Help. And so we've completed Psalm 12, and now we're in Psalm 13, verses 1 through 6. A prayer for help. And the first verse reads, how long wilt thou forget me? Let me read it again. How long wilt thou forget me, O Lord, forever? How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? I'm reading from the King James Version. And you hear me use the word Lord here. Okay, but most time we're going to be saying Yahuwah or Yahushua and so on. And so here is the verse, and we're going to be looking at the word forever here in this verse. Right? And notice what it said here. How long wilt thou forget me, O Yahuwah, forever? How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? And the word here, forever, is the Hebrew word netzach. Netzach. And it have a kind of, like a funny pronunciation, but, you know, the Hebrew, especially we're looking at, ancient Hebrew. If you were trying to spell it in English, it would be like NETSACH. In the phonetic is netzach, or netzach. Okay, and in this case it will spell NEH with the apostrophe and the slash, and then they said, and then TSAKH, netzach. Okay, and the origin of the word netzach, netzach, is properly a goal or the bright objects at a distance travel towards, as you know, it's like saying hence, and figuratively, splendor, or subjectively, truth or truthfulness. And we talk about like objectively confidence, but usually it's an adverbially sound word. It's a continually, that is to the most distant point of view, always, constantly, and the word evermore, perpetual, or strength or victory. The word forever here is used now in a wide range. Okay, it's in a known masculine gender. Eminence, perpetuity, or strength, victory, enduring, everlasting. That's the word forever there. Eminence, enduring of life, endurance in time, perpetual, continual unto the end, and everlasting ever. Everlastingness, that kind of thing. And then in verse 2, he said, how long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? And the word counsel here is a key word that we want to look at. And it's like Asa. Pronunciation, like I said, Asa. It's like saying AY dash TSAW. Asa. The Hebrew word there is Ayin and Sade and Hey. Those are the letters that make up the consonants that make up that letter. Ayin, Sade, and Hey. Asa. And from the origin, it means advice. By implication, a plan or prudence, advice, advisement, or counselor, purpose, and the word is in the feminine gender, and basically is counsel or advice or purpose. He said in verse 2, he continues to say, how long shall I take counsel of my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? How long shall my enemy exalt over me? So the word soul there, look at the word soul. Because this word here is nephesh. Nephesh is soul. Okay? We refer to the soul as the seat of affection. As it's generally referred to as the seat of affection, nephesh, and the word here is nun. That we talk about the word nephesh. Nephesh is nun, pe, and shin. Nun, pe, and shin. Those are the three letters that make up the word. And when we talk about nephesh, here we're talking about a soul, we talk about the self, we talk about life, creature, person, appetite, mind, living. It's used in a wide variety of application. Desire, emotion, passion, that which breathe, the breathing or the substance or being, the soul or the inner being of a man, or the inner being of man rather. And so we continue looking at this. When we say living being here, we talk about living being with life in the blood. And a way to look at it is that the man himself or the self or the person or the individual, the seat of the appetite, the seat of emotion and passion, activity, mind, dubious. You can look at it from, that standpoint to activity, activity of the will, dubious activity of the character, so on. And then look at the word heart, because it said, let me read again, it said, how long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart daily? The question they asked there, having sorrow in my heart daily. And when we look at the heart here is labab. It's like saying LAY-BAWB, Bob, labab, and that's the the Hebrew consonants that make up the word is lamed, bet, and bet. Okay, lebab, and of course, it has the. I always mention that it has the the vowels marking there. Okay, the inner man, the mind, the will, the heart, soul, the understanding, the inner part of the midst of things are the heart of man, lebab, the soul, heart of man, the mind, the knowledge, thinking, reflection, memory. We look at it from the inclination of resolution, determination of the will, conscience. When we look at the word heart there, conscience, the heart of moral character. The heart and moral character as a seat of appetite. As seat of appetite, as seat of emotion, passion, and as a seat of courage. And it is said there in verse 3, it said, consider and hear me, O Yahuwah, my Elohim. Light mine eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. What it's saying here is you use the term death here is ma'beth, and is mim, vav, and he. Mim, vav, and hit, beth. Mim, it's a mim, vav, and tet. Death, dying. Death, personified, realm of the dead. Death by violence or as a penalty, or the state of death, a place of death. And in verse 4, he said, lest mine eyes say, I have prevailed against this. Lest my enemies say, I have prevailed against. And those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. My brothers and my sisters, here the psalmist is saying, okay, look at it from the point of it says, lest mine eye, my enemy. You can say, look around, my enemies, they are around me, right? That's all I can see. My eyes see. That's all my eyes can see around me. Okay, everywhere I look. And sometimes, my brothers and my sisters, the eyes have a tendency of making us see more than what we need to, and sometimes we let us see less. The viewpoint, right? And we're viewing something, and sometimes it's like, well, but by looking at it, you say, I don't think that I can do that. I don't think I can do that. Because the eye, have a tendency to overestimate. And the same eyes can look at things and can underestimate things too. Okay? And so, basically, what it's saying here, lest mine eyes say, my eyes is saying it right. It's seeing the enemies. And that's what you see. The enemies is what you see. Your eyes seeing them. So lest my enemies say, I have prevailed against him. And those that trouble me rejoice when I am moved. So people have a tendency to, want to, rejoice when there's over a situation and there's something going on and they figure that, well, man, I have him just where I want him right now. Okay. It's just where I want it. And it's like you're cornered. Okay? So he's asking Yahuwah to have mercy upon him, because he doesn't want his enemies to say, I have prevailed. My brothers, my sisters, in Bible time, okay, I would say in ancient time, one of the worst things was to be captured as a king. You're a warrior. You don't want your enemy. You always want to be a step of your enemy. And when the enemy cornered you, at that point you just want to just, to you it's embarrassing. You don't want to fall into the hands of the enemy. And so some of the king, what they would do, and the warrior, they would have the servant to say, look, I don't want to die at the hand of my enemy. Threw a spear at me and he got me, and I'm going to die. So you just go ahead, you kill me. Don't let my enemy. So it could be said that the enemy didn't really kill him, the enemy wounded him, And so this is what happened here, that, he did not want his enemy to say, they prevail against him. And those that trouble me, he didn't want him to rejoice when he's moved, when things fail, as in his and the word here is armor, and armor is the Hebrew consonants is mem and resh, with the Hebrew consonants in it. With the Hebrew vowels rather. And so what he's saying here is he didn't want to say, he wanted to speak or to utter. And when we talk about the stems, vowel stems, the call to say, to answer, or to say in one's heart, or to think. You don't want anybody to say in the heart or to think that way, or to command, or to promise, or to intend. Okay, and then the one of the stems is nifa, to be told, to be said. You didn't want it to be said. Okay, to be called, and then you have what you call another stem that's called like a hifpel or hifpael, to boast. You didn't want him to go and bragging and boasting about it, to act proudly. And nifal, and hifil is to avow or to avouch, the primitive root, to say, and is used with great latitude to answer to a point, or to avouch, or to bid, or to boast self, or to call, or to certify, or to challenge, that I have prevailed against you, to charge, okay? And to give command, or, our commandment, to commune, or to consider, to declare, or to demand, or desire, or to determine, my brothers and sisters, expressly, indeed, intend, name it, plainly promise, to publish it all, around, to report it, to request it, to speak against it, or to, to suppose, or to talk, or to tell. This word using as such the word say here, using such a great latitude, and he didn't want David, the psalmist here, he didn't want nobody to go around and brag about that, they have conquered or they have they have won, so we're gonna stop here, and I promise you we're gonna try to go around 20 minutes per session. So we're gonna stop here and we'll come back, and we have a few more verses to do. Okay. We pray that you will be a blessing to someone today and walk with the King. Shalom.